That's
pretty
first
gnarly.
thing I do in the morning,
Yeah.
in the bed, I twist my spine because I'm still in the bed. And then as soon as I get out of the bed, the first thing, I get on my knees.
Mm.
Like, thank you to be here
Mm.
every morning.
Yeah.
Smack the knees. And then it was like, I just wanted freedom. And I wanted to experience, like, if you come from pain growing up, like physical pain, you want pleasure. And that's where I dabble with all this kind of stuff. There's play, but there's
Oh yeah.
discipline. Like,
Right.
it goes.
Right.
Once you're on the rocket, bro, like, either you're in or you're out.
Yeah, you have a really crazy
Open,
back bend. Like, yeah.
open spine, open mind. Celebrity wanted a yoga teacher, so I went and interviewed, and it was P. Diddy to be his personal yoga teacher. I dodged a bullet on that one, dude. Yeah, you know who took my class once? I was tripping out. The Rocket too, Paul Rodriguez.
No.
He came to Shefa.
You're
I was
kidding.
like, bro,
P-Rod?
I love your shoe, bro. Like, you're the
Dude,
best.
P-Rod. All right, you guys, welcome to the Dreamrun podcast. We got Yancy, Scott, Schwartz here.
What up?
Yo, I believe this is episode 12, man. Really appreciate you coming on. Let's see, skater, yogi, musician. Would that be? And
I play music. Thanks for having me.
awesome, man. Yeah, super stoked to have you, actually. And I think we definitely want to start out just getting into kind of like, yeah, I mean, we're just kind of like been shooting the shit a bit, but I feel like skateboarding is a really good jumping off point. And also, you know, I also think your trip to New York you just got back from is a really good place to start.
Yeah, I just haven't been to New York. God, maybe like 10 years, maybe 8 years. Yeah.
Cool.
It was wild.
Yeah, we were talking and I saw some of your stuff on Instagram. Yeah, you were saying like you didn't call anyone. You just kind of like hit the streets, grabbed your board.
No, we don't. Look, it's New York. Everybody's busy. Everybody's hustling, trying to do their thing. So I'm like, and it's cold right now. It's like 40 degrees, 45 degrees. There's some like nice days.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up there, so I know everybody there. And you're going to run into somebody, especially like in the skate avenues, the skate zones, and the skate areas. You see people.
Mm-hmm.
So I linked up with some buddies, went to the skate shop. Easy. There's new skate parks everywhere. So I was like, yeah, you just get on the train and push around. You're going to run into someone. It's such a tight city. So it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like super encompassing. I mean, I don't know. I definitely wanted to discuss like all different things like yoga and skating and some music stuff. I think it's funny because, yeah, your trip just seems super all-encompassing. You saw your teacher.
I saw my teacher, Sri Dharma. He's 84. So my key to go to New York, my focus is to see my mom. She's getting old.
That's right.
And to see my teacher. And then whatever happens. I know I was going to skate because I always, like, that's just the way I get around in the city. It's like the best way to get around. I mean, there's like, bro, it's so crazy how it is now. Like, there's all these electric things and scooters and like all these electric things and bike lanes everywhere. So the bike lanes are lawless. New York's lawless. Nobody care. Like, so it's like, I don't know. It was like everybody figured out the rhythm. Everybody's like figured out they're going opposite way on the bike lanes. It's all crazy, but everybody figures it out. Like it's not really much accidents, I don't think. Like,
right.
I was like, the only accident I saw was like we're skating this one spot on Spring and Lafayette. It's a little curb spot. And it's flat. And they said it was closed down for a while during COVID. So everyone's skating there. It's like marble or granite curbs and whatever. And the only accident I saw was like a messenger bike dude, electric, and a skater. Because the skater had big headphones on. And he was high. And he had Tim's on. And he jumped on his homie's board. And then boom. I was like, because the kid was like wilding.
Oh my
god! The guy was pissed, but
yeah,
that was the only thing I saw. But everybody's got their rhythm. It's like, I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, you're alert. Everybody's alert there.
Right, the energy there, and it's almost like you talk a little bit in class about like the collective and like the consciousness, and it's almost like that's what you're talking about, where it's just like it's sort of lawless, free for all. Everyone's
Yeah,
knows
but everybody's alert. Everybody knows it.
on their toes.
Yeah, it's like
It's just an agreement. Like
it's an
just
unspoken,
happening.
unknown agreement that you know innately. Like that's it. Your senses of perception are like super
Wow.
sharp, super heightened out there for sure.
And coming from your kind of routine here in Venice, where it's like, you know, you skate around, teach class, cruise, what did you find like any anxiety coming with that heightened awareness or that energy of the city, or were you able to?
Nah, it was fine. Like I feel like out here I'm on like time constraints. Out there I wasn't on time constraints because I have to
Cool.
go teach, so I can go anywhere and do whatever I want.
Mm.
But if I have to go teach, I'm like, oh, I can't go to like a crazy spot and like try to get buck and like, you know, that's for
Yeah.
the weekends. Like if I
Right.
want to get buck, I work 6 days a week, so it's like, if I have like the end of Saturday like to do something, or like the end of Sunday, or like all of Sunday,
Cool.
that's when I'm like, okay, do I want to like try to get a clip or try to get buck, or you know, like, and that's like,
Right.
you know, like, do I want to put myself through it even, or it's my day off, like, do I want to chill? Like, it depends.
Right.
So
Okay.
out
So you
there-
just felt like super free, and you're like, wherever things take me, like whatever
Wherever
situation
things
unravels.
yeah, whatever. That's
Like I'm just ready to throw myself back into like this.
that's how I rolled. I only like
Oh, yeah.
planned one thing because I ran into the homie. So I have like a little like hardware sponsor, clothing sponsor, like he makes stuff, and he came out to Cali and we skated Venice. And he takes photos and he skates, he rips.
Mm.
It's called 88 Hardware, and
Okay.
this dude PJ. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like he's like, I'm in Venice, like let's meet up. And he took some flicks. I did my couple tricks, like whatever, in between the class. And I was like,
Mhm.
all right, cool. So he gave me like my package. All right, cool. And then I literally skating, and I just see him. Yo, what's up? I didn't even call him.
Right.
I didn't call him. And
Right.
then he's like, we were like skating, and then he's like, yo, I kind of want to go, like, let's skate Friday. I'm like, okay, I want to go to Con Ed. So Con Ed's like the last stop on the freaking N train, or I think the N train to Astoria, Queens.
Mhm.
It's like these brick banks, like in the Con Ed building, worst ground, like, but nobody bothers you. So it's like quiet. So it's like, okay, cool. So I went over there and just battled the trick out. And that was the only thing I had planned, basically.
Wow. Yeah,
But
just a little
everything-
skate
yeah,
sesh.
little skate
But
sesh.
when you ran into him, yeah.
When I ran into him, yeah, and I didn't even plan to run into
Right.
him. He's like, let's skate Friday, and this was like what, Tuesday or something like that.
Mhm.
And he was like, okay, cool. And I had some homies hit me up and like,
Of course.
let's meet up or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool, like easy.
Right. Yeah. So you talked a lot about a little bit about the bike lanes and the electric, you know, I mean, just the tech and how much things have changed. And yeah, what was it like? I mean, did you grow up right in New York City, like right in Queens, or?
I grew up in Queens, so it's one of the boroughs, the 5 boroughs
Mhm.
in the city. Manhattan's like the city, New York City.
Right.
And then Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. What's the other? Staten Island. Queens,
Mhm.
Brooklyn, Staten Island. Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Manhattan, and the Bronx. So the 5 boroughs,
Okay.
right? And Queens is like literally depends where you go in Manhattan. It's like maybe 5-10 minute train ride away.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to I grew up in Queens, skate all around Queens,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can get anywhere in this, like all over the boroughs, all over the city. So you can get anywhere. So I used to go to Bronx, whatever.
Right.
But
Right.
I grew up in Queens, moved to Manhattan in my
Okay.
teens, and then I grew up in Queens, ran away from home, came out here. That's a whole different story.
Oh wow.
Came out here, like went crazy. After a year, I went back to New York, and then I moved. I was like, I can't live at home, so I moved to Manhattan,
Yeah.
and then I moved to Brooklyn,
Okay.
and then from Brooklyn, I moved back to Queens, and then I moved to Cali for good.
Okay. So yeah, you're just like
All over.
all over NY, like you said, you were skating around the streets. You're just like, I just know everyone. I grew up here. I know this, that. And obviously things have changed, but you still feel that same nostalgia. And
Yeah.
I just can't help getting this image out of my head, you know, growing up in the very similar way as you, a little bit
Yeah.
more beach, surf focused, but
Yeah.
you know, the skate stuff. I I can't help get that image out of my head of the movie Kids. It was actually our mutual friend Chanel who like once just disclosed that to me and like, oh, Yancy was in Kids. Did you know that? And I was like, what? Like, and you know, I remember, and now I've seen the scene of you coming out the window, and I just can't help like, I remember seeing that movie for the first time, like, wow, like this kind of feels like it's about me a little bit. But also idolizing like you guys and your New York like grittiness and like stealing the 40 and like, you know, the whip. Yeah.
Everything was true. The only thing that wasn't true in that, and like most kids can relate to that, like growing up to that, especially inner city, everything was true except like we need to get virgins. That was like storyline. We need to bang virgins, like banging virgins, whatever. That was just storyline. But everything was true. Like that stuff was true. I've seen people get beat up with skateboards.
That one, gnarly. I was like, yeah, for sure.
I've done it. Unfortunately, when I was wild. And just all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Like all the stealing, all the freaking getting into the nightclubs, all like the. So our deal was like, go meet up at the banks, young, skate the banks during the day. Right, and then nighttime would come, hang out at Astor, like that's like in between like the Lower East Side, Astor Place, and then nighttime would come, go to Midtown, because all those office buildings and everything is closed. Skate around Midtown, hit up Midtown, go back downtown and try to find a party to get into or a nightclub to get into, and like try to meet girls, and then whatever happened in between, like whatever like. Craziness like in between like skating whatever like just wilding out like. So
I know that the story there was like a lot of those kids were just off the street. Were those your buddies? Like Casper and then the other kid?
Justin I knew. I just got freaking when I was a little kid we used to skate together, and I remember taking him in the Queens and skating my area. I went to Puerto Rico with Harold on tour. Like slept at his house, know his brothers, and Stephen Callis was supposed to be in the movie, but he got locked up. Okay. Because he was wilding. He got locked up. He was supposed to be Casper. Okay. He got locked up, so they gave it to Justin. I read for all the roles.
Okay, so they just got all you guys together and were like...
Basically, how this happened. We all used to hang out at Washington Square Park, too. That was like a...
That's where the guy got beat with the skateboard.
We all used to hang out at Washington Square Park, and it was cool because there's a lot of girls there, and you can skate there, and there's stuff to skate. It wasn't the best stuff to skate, but it was just a cool hangout spot. And then Harmony was there... And Harmony's like, I'm going to write a movie. I'm going to make a movie. And I was like, who is this kid? He's a liar. I didn't believe him.
Yeah, of course.
And then Larry would be hanging out. And I'm like, who's this old dude? He's kind of creepy. Like, Larry would be hanging out, smoking weed with everybody. And like, I don't know, whatever. And, but we just hang out there and skate. And because Chloe was always there and she was hot. And so we were like, I'll hang out where Chloe's at. Right. And so we used to skate there. It was super fun to hang out. And then Fast Track. This is like just growing up skating. So we do all these runs like Astor Place, Washington Square Park, the Banks, Midtown, and then try to party at nighttime. Right. And then I had gotten into like my mom split, and I was doing a lot of like dabbling with a lot of stuff. And like, I don't even want to say it. I was out of my brain. Right. I met this girl that was out of her brain too. And my mom split. I was living with my dad, and this girl was kind of shacking up with me, and I was like, she's like, let's go to California. I'm like, all right, never been. I want to go to California.
And one second. So how old were you when you were doing this loop, the Banks, the kids?
From I started at the Banks since I was 13 years old.
And okay, and was that like more of a summer routine, or like did you not go to school?
Well, I try to go there like every day, like
after
whatever.
School or like sometimes
after school or not ditch school, like every day.
Just inner city,
every day, like just go, like just go every
street
day.
Street smarts, you know.
Yeah, just hop on the train, like go, like just go.
Gotcha.
And just stay out. Just stay out, like just nothing, like no money, like just money in my pocket, like a little bit of money in my pocket, or try to figure stuff out, like try like. just figure out.
So
like,
from
food.
13, and then you come out here for a little bit at what age?
I think I was like 17 or 18.
Uh-huh.
So I was with this girl. My mom split for like a few years, and like I was like lawless. Like my dad didn't care. Like he just smoked cigarettes on the couch. That's it. Because he had a family before. Like he cared, but my mom split, he was just like checked out.
Right.
He didn't care. And so then I was living with this girl, and we're like doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like she's like, let's go to California. I was like, okay. So she got me a ticket, one-way ticket, and she had a place to stay. I didn't. So I knew this one girl that lived in the valley, and I was dating this girl. So I stayed with this girl.
Wow.
And I experienced, like, I thought I was rich growing up until I went to this one kid's house, and I realized I'm not rich. And then this is New York though. And then when I went to the valley to this girl's house and stayed with her, I got paranoid and freaked out because I didn't understand like how big and how much money, and I just tripped out. So I freaked out and bailed. And I think I hitchhiked or took a cab. I don't even know how I did it. I went to Santa Monica and was just sleeping on the bench. And I was just like, okay. I was like, just take me to like Santa Monica or whatever. I slept on the promenade.
Wow.
On a bench on the promenade. And then then guess who took me in? Jesse Martinez for a few days.
Okay.
Wow. And then Jesse Martinez took me in, and then I was like, sick. And I was like, okay, cool. Like gave me some food and whatever. Then that girl convinced the family that she was staying at to let me stay with them. And then she got work, and then she got work at a secretary at a law firm, whatever, like teenage girl or whatever. And then we got a place. My first place was with her, 2500 Pacific Ave. And I was there for like a year or a little over a year, and I kind of went a little cuckoo, like everybody here. I tweaked out. I was tweaking. And then I went back to New York. So long story short, I saw Harmony in Venice Beach.
Come again?
Yeah, Harmony, the guy that wrote Kids.
Oh, okay.
I saw him in Venice Beach, but I was out of my brain.
Right.
And so I saw him. And then when I went back to New York, I ran into him at Astor, a place where we used to skate, the Cube, we used to call it. I ran into him at Astor, and I'm like, yo, I saw you in Venice Beach. Like, what's up? Like, what were you doing there? He's like, trying to get people to back my movie. And he literally took a matchbook out. I had a pen, and wrote this address. He's like, come over here. I got a part for you in my movie. I'm like, okay. So I was like over there. I met Larry and finally like met him because I didn't talk to him when we were in Washington Square Park. Like, I just didn't I was like quiet and shy. Like,
right.
Everybody else was like, I was like quiet and shy. Like, but man, that's how I got the part. I like went right for the roles, and I think I was on some crazy tip. I think I like dyed my hair and my eyebrows with bleach, like kitchen bleach or whatever, household bleach.
Gosh,
and then my eyebrows fell out. Damn. And then so I just bicked my head, so I looked crazy. And then they're like, yeah, you're in. I was like, bro,
this is what we're looking for.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
that was like the scene where they're like all doing whippets in that apartment, right? Or something like that?
My scene was just in the window eating an apple. I played this girl's brother. It was, I thought the whole thing was stupid, to tell you the truth. Like that's just the whole, like, I don't know, like, just that whole
the AIDS
trying
thing,
to get things,
and I love virgins,
trying to do stuff, and like I just thought the whole thing was stupid.
Right.
To tell you the truth, because I'm not like. But I was like, this dude gave me a matchbook card, and he's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, all right.
Did you guys get paid pretty well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you get like royalties and stuff like that?
No, I didn't get royalties, but I got paid. And then I like after the fact, where he's like, oh yeah, the movie did really good, and blah blah blah. And he's like, yo, come over. And I was with the homie, and I was like, all right. I was on my way to Supreme, and he's like, yo, come over. Or leaving from Supreme. He's like, come over. And he's like, yeah, I got a present for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went over.
What's Supreme?
the one on Lafayette, skate shop.
Oh, a skate shop.
Yeah, Supreme.
Oh, Supreme, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. So I was like, he's like, here's an address. Like, you know, I don't even just write it down. Here, come over. So I went over to his crib. Like, he's like, here, take off your shirt. I was punching a punching bag. And he's like, gave me like, I don't know, like $5,000, whatever. I put on the insole of my DC shoe.
It's a lot of money at the time.
Yeah. Just gave me extra
Like, what, the 90s,
I
right?
got paid. Yeah. I got paid for the movie. Then he kind of gave me an extra, like, here you go. Like, out of nowhere. Like, I was
Really?
like, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had like $5,000 on the insole of my shoe just skating around. Like,
So
didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, yeah.
So it sounds like you kind of like, yeah, I mean, a bit of floundering, a bit of like, as we all do,
Yeah.
you know, in our youth for the most part, especially skaters, surfers, like we just need that like adrenaline. We need that extreme at times. And so,
Well, I guess, you know, like, I don't know how it was for you growing up, but like in my situation at home, like,
Right.
it wasn't the best.
you need to get out.
It wasn't the best. So I'm like, I wanted to run away as soon as I could.
Mhm.
So I'm like, and then it was like, I just wanted freedom and I wanted to experience, like, if you come from pain growing up, like physical pain, you want pleasure. And that's where I dabble with all this kind of stuff. Like,
Interesting.
that's what I realized, like, in my older, I was like, why did I do all this crazy stuff? I'm like, well, you come from this, you want the opposite. If
Right.
you have nothing or whatever, you want more of the opposite of what you don't like.
So, one of the things, yeah, yeah, that's like, I mean, we could go
That's rabbit hole, bro.
huge portal, right? Like
Yeah.
just way deep. And it's really funny how like even when you do walk into some of those homes that are huge and you're like, wow, I didn't realize I was so poor after seeing this. But then you also, if you look beneath the veil
There's problems there
whoa,
too.
you know, what's this all about? What's
Yeah,
this
there's all
dynamic?
kinds
And
of problems. There's
you
problems
get caught
everywhere.
up in the mirage of right. And so like
Yeah.
there's certain things that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And then as you get older, you're like, wait, I wasn't super chill. Like
I'm so grateful
barely got out of there.
that I got out.
Yeah.
I was like, look, Justin's dead, Harold's dead. Like, all these dudes are like end up in jail or like
Yeah.
dead, like ODing and all this kind of stuff. So
Wow.
I'm happy I'm not there. And then I'm at the same time, I'm happy I came from where I came from,
Okay.
because it helped like mold me.
And give you the
then
character.
I was
that
like,
you
I didn't even know, because like coming out here, you know, like what I experienced is normal. What you experience here is normal. This is your normal. This is like, you grew up here, like easy,
yeah.
you know? But then when you talk to people the way they grow up and then you listen to their stories, I'm just like, man, I kind of grew up kind of crazy. I grew up really crazy, dude.
Right, crazy. Yeah.
Like, really, it's not,
Yeah.
what I grew up was like, not like nothing's normal, but not
Right.
your average, like,
Cool.
hearing like how other people grew up.
So, yeah, it definitely sounds like it with mom leaving and the instability and dad just kind of checking out. What I wanted to ask you, and I was like, just really curious about, I got super into 90s hip hop in high school, and you came wearing a Jedi Mind Tricks hat, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow, and it's all New York, and that's how I know, like, you know,
The hip hop is so like,
did you get involved in that?
well, I
Like,
loved
were you
the
able-
hip hop. I loved hip hop.
Yeah.
I grew up like wanting to be like rock and roll.
Okay.
One of my older brothers are into like rock and roll, and then
Yeah.
the skater that I used to skate with growing up, like since I was like 11, 12 years old, he was like hip hop, but his brother played electric guitar, and I loved his brother, dude. His brother was a rocker, Filipino kid. The Filipino kid that I skate with, hip hop, and so I listened to hip hop.
Right.
And all my friends listened to hip hop skating, but deep down inside, I wanted to do rock and
You
roll.
did.
I
Okay,
love
so
rock
you
and
were
roll.
sort of that, like-
I was both.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I love-
Because
those are
man,
my favorite.
so
But-
during my, I just should share this with you. During like my high school kind of formative years, everyone was listening to Lil Wayne. To
Yeah.
give you a timeline, all those big, which I listened to a little, but my friends and I were just like deep into like
Yeah.
Wu-Tang and like
Wu-Tang for sure.
and like Mobb Deep and Cormega and Big L.
Cormega, dude.
Oh,
Big L,
yeah.
yeah. So
All
me
these
too.
guys, we were just getting, and it was just 90s from like probably 92 to like 97, 98.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine you're of age to like be around.
I met Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh my God, no way.
I met Old Dirty Bastard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen like in Queens, I seen Fat Joe walking by.
Fat Joe,
I
yeah.
seen Fat Joe walking by, like, cause when I was little, like they had a Sizzlers, like a steakhouse, like a ghetto steakhouse.
Yeah, they
I
still
seen
have
Fat
Sizzler.
Does it? Is that still around?
Yeah.
Seen Fat Joe walking around, yeah, like, but yeah, I grew up on that, like, and all the skaters
For
grew
sure.
up on that, and
Yeah.
I'm from New York, so like that was the vibe. So I have that in me.
What year would you have been born? What year are you born?
I was born in '74. I just turned 50.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy to think
So,
about.
yeah.
I knew that you were a bit older, but like, so you would have been, yeah, like going through all that like that era would have been like
Yeah.
that hip hop era and everything like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
met
such good
ODB
music.
before he died. Uptown.
I
We
s-
did a skate video uptown. He wanted skaters, and
Oh,
it
no
wasn't.
shit.
It was like one of those offset groups, like one of those Wu-Tang.
Affiliates. So
Yeah.
there's a guy that lives in Venice. His name is Prodigal Son.
Oh yeah, Prodigal Son.
You met, yeah.
I didn't met
He's
him,
a
but-
Wu-Tang. He's one of those
Yeah.
affiliate kind of
Yeah,
branch
yeah.
offs where they, original gun clappers.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Smith and Wesson.
Smith and Wesson, yeah, I grew up on all
guys.
that
Yeah,
stuff.
those are.
But yeah, for some reason, like the homies are like, "Yo, come uptown." So this is New York. They always hook it up. I always get calls like, "Yo, make some money, skaters." Like the skaters looked out. It's like, "Yo, come uptown. They're looking for skaters for a video." So you got paid a little bit, and then we're at the skate park uptown, and it was like, the song was called "Crash Your Crew," and they wanted to crash into each other. And just
skate
old DB was there, and just I didn't even care. I think my ankle was twisted, and I was just like skating around like. Whatever, just skaters like skating around. They have like a skate park uptown, and I was like, all right, but I just remember ODB was there, and he's just like, there's food.
Nice.
He snatched this is cool. He my homie was there with a piece of chicken, and he just snatched the chicken out of my homie's head and started eating it. And he's like, it's time for me. It's time for me. Like,
That's hilarious.
like,
Yeah.
not for anybody, it's time for me. And he's just like tripping, smoking weed, drinking. I
Of
don't know.
course. Yeah.
But yeah, we used to see like all these rappers everywhere, like all over the city, listen to it. Like,
yeah.
it was freaking
So
dope.
many good records coming out at that time.
Yeah,
So
definitely Wu-Tang.
for sure they were like, yeah,
That was like
King of New York type stuff.
Wu-Tang, like Nas and like
Oh,
Mobb
yeah,
Deep.
Nas.
Like
Mobb Deep
dude.
is from Queens. So
Mobb Deep from Queens, dude. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Biggie came out. I was like, all right, cool. Like I love Tupac, but Biggie.
Oh,
dude.
Biggie. I mean Tupac. I mean they're both. Yeah. But
Yeah, I
Biggie
love-
just has this like
Yeah.
charisma to him.
I
man.
have
Just,
Tupac in my
oh
heart. But
gosh.
Biggie, yeah. But Wu-Tang, yeah, I think Wu-Tang was like my Raekwon, all like Raekwon's album, the Cuban
Mhm.
Links, and then the Jizza came out. I was like, oh, my Liquid
Right,
Swords.
Liquid
I was like,
Swords. Yeah.
dude,
Oh
I was
yeah.
just like
Sick.
Triumph come on. I'm like, I'm gonna go freaking do all this stuff, like skate.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I still, and then deep down inside, I like rock and roll. So I was like, all right, Led Zeppelin. Like,
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
those are my favorite music, like rock and hip hop.
Okay. Yeah, Zeppelin is a staple for
Yeah,
sure.
being around that in New York City, like it's just in the air and just in the fashion and the skaters, like wore all that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Dope. Yeah. Yeah, just picking up, like you had a pretty nice little run, some sponsors, some trips.
Yeah.
And also we're in Thrasher a couple times.
Yeah.
How long did that kind of go for?
Well, that's the goal. You're a young skater, you're a kid, and you want to be a pro, and you want to do all this stuff. So I wanted to be embraced by the skateboarders.
For sure.
So I was always trying to like get in the magazines, get in the videos, and it's hard on the East Coast. It wasn't big, or you had to be out here and stuff like that. So I'm like growing up on the East Coast, and there's a couple of photographers come out, and So I was trying for that for a long time, and then and he even came out here and was like trying to pursue it. So I would say like maybe my 20s up to my 30s, like I was really trying to like just trying, and then I was just like after a while I'm just like, okay, can't do it. If you're partying too much, it takes a toll on you, and if
Right.
so you get to like a crossroads, right? And so it's like either you party and then you get lost in the party and the skating diminishes, right? Or you start to be health conscious, and that's probably why a lot of older skaters are getting into yoga, because like if you want to still stay skating, like it's gonna catch up to you. So
Right.
skating's gonna hurt you, and then the partying is gonna like hurt you, and like financially, and like like mentally.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that, like, yeah, not to get too, but it sounded like, yeah, you lost a lot of buddies. Like, did you get pretty wrapped up in that? Like, NY at that time, I mean, there had to be a lot of drugs in the inner cities.
Yeah, there was like,
OD.
you know what?
Well,
You know what it was? It's like
yeah.
growing up in New York City, what I realized, like, and probably in Venice too, and wherever, like inner city, any city. If you grow up in a city and you have access and you can get around, you can get corrupt at an early age. Easy. There's corruption everywhere. You just get corrupted at an early age. You get exposed to so much. So I got corrupted at an early age. I didn't know any better. I was like super ignorant. You're young, you're dumb. So then yeah, I just started like in New York, my 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 elevation to corruption. I got super corrupted, and then I came out here
Yeah.
when I was like a teenager, and like went full on, full force, full send out here. And then I was like, okay, like, and then I started to clean my act up after that, because I was like, I was gonna die, bro.
Damn. And yeah, because you watched all your buddies die and stuff.
I watched people
Were
die,
they
dude.
mostly a lot of was it heroin mostly? Because that's
The one homie I grew up with skating, found him with a needle in his arm. Harold, I don't want to say it, but he had a heart attack, but he was like partying. His heart stopped because he was partying. Like the homie, they used to sell blow. Like Harold wanted some blow, and he had a heart attack. We don't want to say that, but like,
So do you ever kind of like have these moments and just like, oh my gosh, like you just look around and you're like, wow, I'm still like not only healthy, not only alive. Yeah, man, that's pretty gnarly.
First thing I do in the morning, in the bed, I twist my spine because I'm still in the bed. And then as soon as I get out of the bed, the first thing, I get on my knees. Like, thank you to be here. Every morning.
Yeah.
Smack the knees. That's it. Because like I see all these people, and people end up in jail, pro skaters, washed up, all this kind of stuff. Just, it's an illusion, that lifestyle. Like, but nowadays it's getting better, because that older generation, they're still skating. They can inform the younger generation.
Right,
now,
right.
like, it's in the Olympics, and like parents are getting involved, and it's like, it's more like more of a sport, as opposed to like a crazy lifestyle how it used to be. It's still a lifestyle, and it's still that aspect of it, but it's more like sports orientated, like healthy, and like like, I mean, it's still gnarly.
Like
I go over there, I still go to Venice.
Yeah, no,
and
Venice
like,
is still kind of gnarly.
I'm like, wow, this is how I grew up. This is the same
Venice
thing,
is actually
dude.
still like pretty.
It's still the same.
Yeah.
There's always the same, but there's that avenue of it that's like the mainstream avenue that's like, which is not bad, and it's just a different way there's a different way skaters are growing up. They have more information and more health conscious, and their parents are health conscious. So like,
Yeah.
as opposed to like no parents at home and just do whatever you want, run amok.
Right. So kind of moving on, you discover yoga at, just moving on to that, the health and wellness, and you still being able to skate at 50. You discover yoga on a skate trip at some point.
Yeah.
And I mean, how quickly does that get rolling? Like, do you just jump right in, or?
No. Oh my God, dude, I want to freaking
No, you're
Like,
still partying.
I'm
Like,
still partying. I'm
yeah.
just like, that's
But the seed is planted.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look, you skate until this day, my legs get sore. If you skate and try to just skate, you're just sore. You want to stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing, it's rad, but at the same time, it sucks. Your body sucks. Like, it's not like a robot or anything like that. So I'm just trying to stretch. So I was like, okay, went on a skate trip, did yoga, and it was like ashram yoga. I didn't know what yoga was. I didn't even know like there's different kinds of yoga.
It was ashram yoga?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Satchitananda, or like it was Satchitananda's integral yoga. They had it like they sent me to the Dominican Republic to film some stuff and whatever and hang out with the locals, and it's on a skate trip, and I was like, okay, with some sponsors, and I was like, cool. We went filming. They had yoga on the roof of the hotel and the beach. So I was like, all right, I'll do yoga and then jump in the water and then go freaking meet up with the homies and go freaking shred.
Right.
And then like, oh, okay, we're doing some weird chants. I'm like, great. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what they're saying. Like, great. Like, I'm cool. And do a couple of poses, shoulder stand and whatever. Basically it's mellow.
Right.
And then
Ashram yoga is mellow.
It's
light.
Dude, there's not. Just a couple poses.
Sure.
It's like chanting and like meditation. So the difference between now as I got older of like Western yoga and Eastern yoga.
Yeah.
Eastern yoga is more of the mind. And then Western yoga is more of the body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's more like a mind meditation and like
right.
a couple poses you hold. And so yeah, I was like, okay, that's yoga. That's what I thought yoga was.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
And then come years later, like I met this girl and she's like, oh, I want to take you to yoga. I'm like, all right, cool. I actually met her on like an acting set because like the skating after kids, like started doing all this kind of stuff. Like, make some freaking money. Like,
yeah.
Easy gigs. And then she said, let me take you to yoga. And it was like a Western yoga. Power yoga, like a Brian Cast, like this dude.
It was like a Brian
Cast influence. So we're holding these hard poses. I'm like, and people are like, they're like, let it out. And they're like, it sounds like they're having orgasms. And I'm like, this sucks. But at the same time, I'm like laughing inside because I'm still juvenile. I'm like, what are they doing? They're like having an orgasm and they're holding these poses and this sucks. I don't know what's going on.
And what year would that have been?
Maybe 97.
And was that in LA? That was in LA.
New York.
Okay.
New York. And then I was like, I could be totally off. Chase, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude.
That's
I have
fine.
no concept of time.
Yeah.
No years and dates, like. But yeah, so then and then we went there. I'm like, yoga sucks. I hate it. Right. I was an anti-yoga after that class. I was like, they're playing Eminem music or something like that. I wasn't into Eminem like at the time. Now I love Eminem. Just already like I can appreciate Eminem now.
Right.
But at the time I wasn't into Eminem. I was in like Wu-Tang for life. So then I was like, okay, this is not my thing. And then that girl ended up moving to Berkeley. And I was in New York and she was teaching yoga over there. And I was like, oh, I'll come visit you and I'll do yoga. And I put my foot in my mouth. I was talking to her on the phone. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to go meet her, she's like, okay, let me show you some yoga. She showed me the basics. And then I can tune out all that other stupid stuff out. And after that, it took root. What about you? When did you start, dude?
Dude, so Regan, who you know, took me to, I was 16 years old and I was just kind of like, you know how it is, doing my thing. But the seed was planted. It was 106. She put my brother and I in the front row, and we could not do any of this stuff.
You see all these old people and everybody doing it.
Oh, yeah. And they were all so beautiful and vibrant and happy. And I just went, wow. And I was 16, but I was 16, dude.
Yes.
And I didn't,
for your mind to fathom.
Yeah. I didn't know what was going on, really, what was really going on underlying. And the subtle body and just all these things I want to talk to you about. But yeah, she put me in the front row. You know, Bikram used to be really gnarly. Yes. They used to yell at you. They used to, apparently he used to have a little stick and correct you and align you. And honestly, it was gnarly because she knew us so well. She was yelling our names and all this different stuff. And she, you know, she's a student of Dharma as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know her and of her and all these things, and you share that lineage. But that was my seed. That was my moment, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really still like that flow. I do still like that sequence a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really powerful in its own way. But oh gosh, yeah, where was I going with that?
That's when your seed was planted. That's like, I was like, when did you start? I'm like 16. Yeah, bro. Like,
That was crazy, right? And she was always just so happy and going to India and going to do these 500 hours and just wanting to dive deeper into that. And she was also really like kind of like that older girl next door for me. Like me and my
Yeah.
brother were 16 and 17
Yeah.
and she was like 26 and smoking hot, you
yeah.
know?
Like,
And we were
what's
just like,
her-
yeah,
yeah,
let's
we'll
just
go wherever
with
she
her.
goes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if she's inviting us, like, if she's doing yoga, like,
Yeah, and-
totally, I
and
get
she
it.
would make us dinner, and like we would just cruise with her, and she was like kind of a big sister to us, and
Yeah.
so
So
yeah, man.
Like me, a girl got you into it.
Exactly, man. And yeah, it's just it's really. Oh, I was gonna say about the alignment is I kind of like. At the time, I was like, God, like, why is she yelling at me? This sucks. But now that I'm dealing with this injury right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like if I'm out of alignment in a pose right now, which I probably am often, and
Yeah.
you've came in class and been like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
certain things, yeah.
yeah, and I appreciate that. But it's like, it will actually hurt me if I'm in a class now and not aligned
Right.
because of this injury. So I'm like, oh wow,
It's like a rotator cuff thing?
it's a pinched nerve.
Okay.
Like I have like two vertebrae, my C6.
Yeah.
It's compressed. It's
Ooh.
compressing my disc.
It's freaking dope.
Yeah.
Fun.
You know how it is, man. And so like people are asking me like, oh, how did this happen? How did this happen? This, that, and the other. And we could go down this path about like where I am at now with it. But, you know, we've beaten ourselves up, man. Over and over.
I can't believe I can do what I can do, to tell you the truth, from what I went through.
It's honestly crazy. Yancy teaches class for us here, 90-minute in the heat, really hot. And he's teaching the class while simultaneously in, you know, a full handstand with his feet on his head. So the scorpion back. And yeah, you have a really crazy back bend. Like, yeah.
Open spine, open mind.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's like dive into that. So first of all, I mean, you got on this yoga journey. Why did you gravitate towards Dharma as your main?
Well, look, I went to all these yoga classes, mainly power and like Bikram and all this kind of stuff, like power yoga and Bikram. Like,
and that's
I went to all that kind of stuff,
like
and then
the cast influence.
Yeah,
and then Rocket is also
Rocket's Ashtanga.
right. Okay.
Rocket's like Ashtanga influence.
Okay.
So I was like doing the power yoga, and then it's like, okay, like not that you get bored, but it's like you need something a little bit more, right? So it's like, okay, like you need something that'll fill. If you have an empty stomach, you need more. So I want more. So then I got into the Bikram, right? And then it started opening up my spine. There's like some advanced stuff and there's amazing people, like, because the discipline teaches you discipline. So I'm like, the discipline's good and the heat's good and opens up your spine. It's a good sequence for the spine. And your spine is the access to all your limbs. So like
I'm
right in the
experiencing
center,
that now.
the access to all your limbs. So
Yeah.
if your spine's more open, then you have more mobility in your limbs.
Mm.
If your spine isn't that open, then your limbs have less mobility. And if you do too far with your limbs, then that's how you get injured.
Okay.
So if your spine's the access to your spine's more like flexible, your limbs, and the limbs is what gets you around, your arms, your legs, it gets you around to do things.
Okay.
And we know we have to do things in life. It's better to do things easily.
Mm.
So that's why like the spine got me open. And then I was like, after the Bikram, I'm like, okay, well, I need more. And then I found Rocket, and that led me to Ashtanga and Rocket. I'm like, this is great.
Okay.
But again, I felt like I was missing something.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's so physical. But, you know, you get like, you're quiet and it's so physical.
Okay.
But then when I went to Dharma, it was physical, but it was of the mind and like the spirit. I'm like, okay, this is more like, so they call it Hatha Raja, the royal path. Hatha, like yoga, the yoga royal path. Hatha Raja yoga. So when I met Dharma and found Dharma, I'm like, this is it. This is it, because it's of the mind. It's of Eastern yoga and Western yoga combined.
Psychic development.
Psychic development. It's all Dharma.
The great practice we did at the 2 hour.
Yeah, it's got it all.
The chanting with the
everything,
different chakras,
the seed sounds, the bija mantra, it's got it all.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, okay, and this dude,
so he sort of bundled up some of the Vedic stuff, like the Vedic
all that stuff,
and like delivers it with both sides, physical.
Yeah, the physical. I mean, he's got all kinds of people.
And you liked that.
I'm like, bro, this takes care of, this feeds me.
Sure.
It's a food or whatever, or I look at yoga not even like food. I look at it more hygiene. Like, this is the hygiene of the mind and the body. This takes care of it all.
Right.
Rocket takes care of it all too, but this like more for the mind.
Right.
The physicality like is insane, but he can taper it. Like, he'll give you all kinds of variations. If you're a beginner, man, and the most advanced stuff, I'm like, it's pretty buck, bro. It's buck, dude. I'm just like, okay, like, it's like having I always say this, Dharma says this too. It's like, bro, I used to live in Hollywood. You take the 704 down to the beach. You'll get to the beach. You'll get to Santa Monica and Venice, right? You'll take the 704 all the way down Santa Monica.
Yeah.
It'll get you to the beach. But bro, if you have a freaking Lambo, you're going to get to the beach too. So depending on what you got, right?
Right.
So I was like, all right, I can do this. Like, let's freaking go there. So it takes care of both the mind and when I met Dharma. And I've been to a lot of yoga classes. And I know you have been to a lot of yoga classes since you've been like 16. And then you feel the vibe of the teacher. And you're like, sometimes I'm like, like nice person, but not my vibe.
Sure.
I'm not buying it.
Okay.
I don't buy it.
Yes. Interesting.
I don't buy it.
So that must be even harder.
When I went to Dharma's,
this
is for real.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because, well, a couple of things before going there, but you mentioned going to Kest influenced power yoga is essentially what Kest did. And then you mentioned the rocket sequence being based off Ashtanga. My whole like break there was like, they're both students of Ashtanga, isn't that right? Pattabhi
Joyce. Yeah.
Right.
Brian Kest used to do Ashtanga.
So, but you feel like the rocket sequence is just closer to the series.
Exactly.
And Kest sort of took it and made.
For me, he's more beginner friendly.
Right.
And more what people can digest.
Okay.
And so and it more like trying to relate, like, because he curses a lot, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Okay, yeah, maybe once I've taken one of the Power Yoga East, but like I don't remember.
So that's like more like, like it feels like we're going on skating. It's like, okay, you want to get on a longboard? Cool.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to get on the longboard.
You mentioned the word discipline from Bikram.
Yeah.
Rocket has discipline without a doubt.
Yeah, there's play, but there's discipline. Like it goes.
Right.
Once you're on the rocket, bro, like either you're in or you're out.
Right. So your path was like, okay, I like this Bikram thing. I'm doing this power yoga. I find Dharma and I'm like, yes, I want to like open my subtle body. I want to sit in stillness. Okay, you talked about not buying it. I bet you that's super hard for you now. You probably can't just go to a bunch of classes in LA. It's just like,
Quality,
Right.
not quantity.
Okay. So what do you feel like?
I'm just laughing because I'm like you probably feel the same way as me. I don't know. I'm laughing because I'm sure you've taken a million classes and you feel it and you know.
Well,
So.
yeah. I mean, yes. There are certain teachers that I attend,
Yeah.
and I want to, there's a certain thing I'm looking for.
Right.
There's other classes I attend when I'm doing my practice with some compadres.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we could really go down and just.
Yeah. No. There's something for everyone, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's something for everyone. Not. I guess not buying it. I'm not. I just need more, and I need what I need. I need to take care of like what I need to take care of. It's
right.
Like, okay, that's not for me. I kind of grew out of that kind of
well
stuff.
You've also just yeah. I mean, here's
I don't want to diss anybody. I don't want to diss like any kind of yoga or anything like that. It's like whatever, dude. It's all kind of food. It's all kind of food. Whatever.
I don't even. Yeah, I'm the yoga police. You suck. You're cool. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude. I'm like.
I mean, yeah, and I, dude, it's just the same thing with the scene and the life and the skating, and I want to surf that big wave, and like, dude, I want to come and practice with people that are on that level, that are in that high level. That's what I've been chasing my whole life. So yeah, of course, I'm going to a certain class, and I'm like, locking in, and I'm like really trying to synergize and deepen my practice and open my body in a further way. And I'm currently not super in my practice. Like, it's hard. I'm like I'm like having to take a turn, and I know that eventually I'm going to come more open and stronger, but
I get it, man.
I haven't been
injuries happen,
like I'm just dealing with this, man, and this is what life is throwing at me.
But you seem like you're doing like good. You're taking like whatever classes you need to like.
We can get into that route, but I'm basically heated yin is just it right now.
Dude.
That's what I'm doing,
bro.
And I'm just feeling, and I'm just trying to circulate that.
You got the Val's class?
I'm Val is on tonight, which I'll probably go to.
Okay, Val. Maybe I'll go.
Yo, yeah, you should come.
I haven't seen her in a minute.
And then, but Bo just came back from being pregnant, and we had this class last weekend. Man, wow, that was nice. And I practiced next to Val that day.
Yeah, they're both great. I know them both like even before Shefa.
Hell yeah,
I know them both. Well, no. Yeah, I know them both before Shefa.
Yeah, and we don't. Yeah, that's amazing, and we can definitely talk about a bunch of people in a positive light. But I really want to I just want to get your take on yoga in LA, like seriously, because I just remember it being a little more vibrant. I mean, do you have any sort of?
Well, okay, I took classes here, like some of the popular teachers. Like Chad Hamrin and Vinny Marino, like the big rock star teachers, and I think he still teaches. Brock Cahill still teaches camp now.
Okay.
And Calvin, the surfer guy.
Okay.
And whatever, and the yoga in LA, like, well, I started doing the yoga in New York and SF mainly. So in New York, all my friends that were yoga teachers. So quick backtrack.
Sure.
I went to Berkeley, did yoga, and then started doing my ex-girlfriend showed me what yoga was. So I went back to New York and started practicing at the donation-based studios, like quietly. Like I was like in and out, like, and then the owner tapped me on the shoulder one day and was like, "How'd you like to do training for free?"
No way.
And I was a skateboarder, free. That was at the time my mentality, anything free. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like free product, free boards, like whatever. So I was chasing all the free stuff, free money. whatever, or easy money. Like now I realize nothing's for free.
Yeah.
So I did the training, my 200 hour for free. And then we're working at the skate shop. And then finally they're like, the owner was like, how many classes are you teaching? Or what's your deal? I'm like, no, like maybe once a week subbing or just whatever. I was working at a skate shop.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let's get you on. Blah, blah, blah.
So this was in Berkeley?
In New York.
Okay.
So I started teaching. I'm still dating that girl. And then all the yogis, the teachers that I was with, they're like amazing.
Mm.
And all the New York people are amazing. And then I went to SF and I found the Rocket. And then I was like, this is it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is it. And then, but I'm like, it's missing something. And then when I went back to New York, I took Dharma's class. I'm like, okay, this is my combo. But yeah, what was the question again?
I don't know, but did you actually train with Larry,
No,
the guy?
I didn't. He
the
had
Rocket?
passed away.
Okay.
He had
Was it
passed away.
Larry
But I trained
what's his
Larry,
last-
Larry Schwartz, but
Schultz,
I trained with his
yeah.
students.
Okay.
I trained with his students, and then I trained with all like first descendant students,
Amazing.
and I taught for first descendant teachers for their studios,
Okay.
like out here and stuff like that.
Out here.
Mhm.
And as far as Rocket Studios, is that pretty accessible? Where can you find a Rocket class?
Hard
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
because hard because it's a fun practice,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very rigorous,
Mhm.
and it's not like for everyone.
Right. And we have a strong enough community here where the class is attended pretty religiously.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I was
it is.
away for a
It is
week,
great.
and I was getting texts and all this stuff. People
Oh.
were crying, like, like, bro, like,
Just
be back, bro, like, the worst.
dude, chill, man. I gotta go see my mom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's really cool, though, man. And you
Yeah.
are definitely deeply appreciated in the community here. Like, I speaking for myself, and I know
Thank you.
others.
Appreciate it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really nice to have that, and
Well,
also
Well, you've seen it, like, it holds its own.
for
I
sure.
don't really have to do much. I just say a couple poses, say the couple cues, and I shut up. I don't have to do much. Like the whole room, the collective consciousness holds it together.
Right, right.
And if you're with us, amazing. You're vibing off that. If you're like not, good luck, dude. Have fun. Don't hurt yourself.
I'm over there like I'm trying, dude.
Nah, you did good, bro. You have a good handstand, bro.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not bad, bro.
Appreciate
It's
it.
really
Yeah,
good.
it's getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm still working on it.
Right. And so, I'm working since I'm having to re-strengthen, and I can't even really do them right now.
I'll give you some secret, like Wu-Tang secrets.
Yeah,
I'll
actually,
give
yeah.
you the Wu-Tang secrets.
If you feel like maybe for that surfboard, like maybe just like
I'll
throw
give
me
you,
a couple little like
I'm gonna set you.
maybe we do like
yeah,
a little
Totally, I got you.
barter,
Bro. I got you, bro. I got you.
some knowledge, just like download it.
I mean, like I've seen people come to my classes with a Pilates mat, like those super foamy mats. They couldn't even do a downward dog, and now they're doing handstands after a couple of months. Rocket's hard to find because it's so hard.
Mm.
And if you do find it, usually it's watered down.
Mm.
And I feel like a lot of classes feel watered down, or it doesn't feel like I'm not getting what I need to get. I'm not doing what I have to do.
Right.
So Rocket's hard to find in America because the culture is like feel good culture, America, right? It's big in Europe.
I love the pain.
It's big in Europe. It's big in like Asia.
Right.
Because discipline, and I don't know what's up with Europe. I'm not too knowledgeable. And it's big in South America, Mexico, like Brazil, like all like South American countries. Rocket's super big and Puerto Rico, because one of the Larry students opened up a studio in Puerto Rico and travels around, does trainings.
Cool.
Which is one of my teachers.
Mm.
And yeah, so it's big in Latin America. It's big in Europe and big in Asia.
Okay.
Super huge, but America not so big.
Mm.
Like what's big in America? Like I don't know what's big in America. What kind of yoga is big in America? I don't
Probably
know.
just like
Yeah.
I think it's like because we're super lucky, man. Like we're super lucky here in LA. The
Yeah.
yoga is good. Where I'm from, the yoga is really good as well. And
Yeah.
Encinitas, we have,
yeah, there's
Yogananda Spot is there.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, that was like the first place that Patabi Joyce visited. He used to hang down there. So there's still like
Right. Ashtanga, yeah. I think Richard, was it not Richard Freeman? What's this other guy's name? The other Ashtangi. He opened up Yoga Works with Mahdi. I'm spacing on his name
for sure,
but I think he's down there.
Is he?
Encinitas, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Rocket in Chula Vista.
Okay.
Chula Vista.
Yeah,
It might be Chula
North
Vista.
County.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's all the way down there, like in Chula Vista, or maybe.
Oh, Chula Vista. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
There's some Rocket yogis.
That's
So
right
they
by
train,
Mexico.
Yeah, they train whatever, and they're always like, "Yo, you got to come down." They're called the Misfits yogis. They're
Oh,
like
sick.
super rad.
Yeah, that's rad.
But yeah, Rocket's not big out here. Neither is Dharma, because it's such. Look, you know why it's not big? Because you need people to teach it.
Right.
And you can't teach anything that you don't practice. Buy a freaking handful of turmeric, put it in the fridge, grab a root. When you're ready to make a smoothie, clean it. Don't even peel it. Throw the whole root in the smoothie.
Yeah, and just.
Or make them freaking throw turmeric in the smoothie.
I had that thought recently. I was like, I need a blender again. I had a Vitamix at one point. I think
I have the bullet. Or whatever. I
the
just throw
nice one.
I throw turmeric root every Monday.
Yeah.
Every Monday, or every time I have a smoothie, but I do smoothie on Monday. So every time I do that, it helps with all my.
Yeah, I want to get into that. I really do, and I want to unwind and like hope you have a little bit more time. Yeah. Here's something I wanted to ask you is, what were we talking about?
We were talking about like how come there's no Rocket.
Yeah, we're talking about, is there Rocket accessible? Where's the good yoga? We're super lucky to have, enough support, you as a teacher. And then we were just kind of talking Dharma. I guess here's something, kind of a random question. Do you think yoga causes injury?
You could get hurt doing
or
yoga.
Do you think, yeah. So what's
for sure.
Yeah, so we were just sitting here and we just took a little break. Yancy ate a granola bar. We got some snacks to kind of get us through and stuff. Yeah. And he's like silently doing a little mantra, and that's the Dharma, the purification mantra.
Purification, yeah.
And you can come to his class, where we do that, where he teaches that. It's a psychic
development and the Dharma classes. We do that.
And the Dharma yoga, yes. Okay. And those are never in the heat, am I right?
No.
Is that right? Okay.
No.
Not a thing, not a Dharma thing.
No, he doesn't do it in the heat
right.
at all.
Okay.
No. You could.
You could.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to.
Yeah. I don't think I've taken one of those aside from the great practice.
Yeah.
What was that?
Mahasadhana.
Mahasadhana.
Yeah, Mahasadhana.
That was nice. Yeah, we did that in the yoga party, and I remember.
Yeah, it was fun.
I called Regan. I talk to Regan every few weeks still, and I called her, and she's like, "Did you guys do the yoga party or whatever the thing was where we like
asana jam?"
Yeah, where everyone like goes in the middle and does a pose and like clapping. And
he just did that this Saturday when I left.
I started following him on Instagram, and every now and then I see like a video of it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty fun." And she was saying how she loved that, and she has her cool like inversions. And
where's she at now?
She's in Carlsbad.
Oh,
she owns a coffee shop there.
Oh wow.
And she just did a teacher training. It's so funny because I was like, I called her and she's like, I'm putting together a binder for my teacher training. It starts like in 2 days. You should be a part of it. Just like laughing at her, like, yeah, 2 days. I'm gonna drive to San Diego
like
every weekend for 3 months.
Wow.
I would love to, but
yeah,
that's gnarly.
Give me a little bit more advanced. Yeah. I love you, but like
I would love that.
You're a wild yogi.
I know.
No, that's awesome though. It's rad that she invited you. Like,
yeah, she's the best. Anyways, so what were we kind of getting at? She loves that. You say the mantra for purification.
Yeah.
Are there any other Sanskrit because I was telling you about, or not telling you, but just the. I knew the Brahmar Pranam. That's another meal prayer from the Gita, I believe.
From the Gita, probably. I don't know them all, but
okay.
I know there's a couple of like master chants. Like Hare Krishna is a master chant. Like,
okay.
Hare Krishna is one of them.
Right.
The Mahamrityunjaya mantra is a master chant. Deals with death and immortality. Hare Krishna. Gayatri does all the realms, like.
Okay. All the different, like.
All the realms, heaven, hell, below, up, everything in between, like balances it all out.
So let me ask you this: what is your attitude towards Sanskrit? Like, are you, like, do you
it's like, you know what? When I was more on like younger, juvenile, a little bit more ignorant.
Sure.
Or like never chanted. I thought it was stupid. I never thought anything of it and thought it was like dumb and couldn't. Just say it in English, Brian Kess. Say it in English. And let me be relatable. Oh, you're cursing and oh, cool. Like you're playing like whatever. Cool. Music's fun, but it helps. Or it's like, hopefully it's good music. Or if it sucks, then it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
So my take on it now is you're doing the pose, you feel it in the body. And then the name of the pose or the name of the Sanskrit or the sound, I'm into sound. The sound is a vibration.
Right.
So you're putting it in your ears. And to say Sanskrit and to do the pose, so you have it in your body, you're hearing it in your ears. So you're getting it all. It's going like to your ears, to your brain. You're feeling it on a physical level. And you're feeling it on a vibrational level as well.
Right. That's kind of the thing with Sanskrit.
It's vibrational. It's about the sound.
Right.
It's about the vibration.
Okay.
And then it's yoga, right? So this is the original sound of the poses. So you're getting to the root of it.
Yeah.
So, and I look at it like, look, man, you couldn't come to America, they speak English. You're going to go to Japan, they speak Japan.
Sure.
The Japanese. You're going to go to India, they speak Hindi or Sanskrit or whatever. You go to Germany, they speak German.
Right.
So it's like, I'm going to go to yoga. I appreciate the American words
sure.
and whatever to get through, but I do also appreciate the Sanskrit.
Right.
The sound's key.
Yeah, you do
vibration.
There's a specific number of Sanskrit cues you give in Rocket, which I like. Samadhi, samasti. How do you say that?
Samastitihi, equal stance. Samastitihi.
I like that. I like that word a lot.
You just hear the sound and poof.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows where to go.
Everybody knows where to go. We're all on the same page. You do the pose, you feel it in your body, then you hear the sound. And the sound's an ancient sound that's getting to you. Whatever knowledge and whatever is behind that sound gets you and you feel it. Just like you play an instrument, you hear a note and it hits you.
Yeah,
Same thing.
That's what I was always told. So when I did learn that, or we used to say that, I lived with the Brahmar Pranam, which is a kind of the pre-meal prayer in the Gita. That was through a friend of mine. We used to go and see this like Kriya Yoga. This Kriya Yoga. Yeah. This
Yogananda
this
stuff.
Yogananda's lineage.
This
guy in Santa Barbara. He's now in like Grass Valley, Sacramento area. Cool. But they were, man, yeah, it's a very big commitment to become like this guy's initiate.
Me. I know. I've tried to become a card holding Yogananda self-realization.
One of the
self-realization card holder, whatever. And I was trying. It's like, it's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
All
so
the Kriyas.
2 hours. He's Yogananda's lineage, but he has a different entity. It's not self-realization. It's it's gonna kill me, but they just got an ashram.
Oh, cool.
Up north. Anyways,
awesome.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
He every morning 2-hour practice. You have to like commit, and then
I know
you're already vegan, so that's good. You have to be vegan or vegan, like you can eat ghee basically.
Yeah.
For the naughties, apparently. Okay. Anyways, huge rabbit hole to go down, but I'm just trying to like, so yeah, what's you were talking about, just you can go to yoga, but if you're partying or if you're doing things outside, you're not fully going to experience.
It's counterintuitive.
And so
it's like, hey, I'm gonna go take a shower and then go play in the mud. I'm like, then you have to go take a shower again, and then you're gonna go play in the mud. At some point, it's like, if you want to stay clean, you're not gonna play in the mud.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Now, here's another question. I was just curious about what you thought about just like the tensions have been super high, especially in LA, being a super progressive, like liberal zone. And the election was just like, you could feel it, bro. You could feel it. And I am sort of naive, or not naive, but just like, I'm just wondering if like your guidance and like your, when you get connected to your navigation and when you're doing these practices, you move in a way, with a connection to divine. Like, so what was anything coming through for you? Just like
with all that stuff?
I don't know. Like, do you just, I'm just wondering like if you took a stance or you're just like, listen, dude,
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Cool. Yeah.
Yoga has none. This is very materialistic. Yoga's inner. And if you're wrapped up in that and get caught up in that, there's people hating on each other because of politics. It's so silly. If you look at it like on a bigger picture, this is how I look at it. I still got to pay taxes. I still pay a lot of money. I live out here. I still work and I get all this money taken out. No matter who's in charge, I'm still getting a lot of money taken out. So it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I'm going to work on what I need to work on. The yogas of inner.
Mm-hmm.
Inner. You, it has nothing to do with outside of you. I mean, outside of you, you're connected with everything, but it's more you. And then if your senses of perception are super sharp, then you see, okay, this is the outside. You're connected with it, but you're not affected by it.
Right.
I'm more on the inside. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do and let that be. Yeah, it's happening, but I'm going to, just like surfing. Look, man, I'm not trying to stop the ocean. This is the ocean. The outside world's the ocean. I'm not trying to stop the ocean. I'm going to try to surf it. I'm not going to like, I'm trying to surf it. I'm not trying to take a stance on it. Because you take a stance here, like, then these people hate you. You take a stance here, these people hate you. And it doesn't, at the end of the day, it's still the ocean.
Right.
It's still politics. It's still going to go how it's going to go. Like, one place is not better than the other. I'm like,
yeah.
I still have to pay my whatever. And then I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
Let me work on what I need to. What I want to do, I want to skate, practice, and play music. Is that going to affect my skating, practice, and music? Like, maybe in a minuscule way, but not really.
Right.
Because I skate anyways, and even if they said I couldn't skate, I'd probably skate anyways. Like, I was little. Like, freaking sneak into some place or whatever, skate or whatever, or like run away from security guard. And
at one point it was like pretty charged up, and like I just heard like you're like I'm just was interested to hear, because it's just kind of unraveled and just kind of happened, and you're just like, whoa, like people are just you can feel it, and you're like, whoa.
I'm like, yoga has nothing to do with politics. Cool. In my eyes. And people that bring politics into yoga, that's like a loose cannon waiting to go off. Like, that's something I would never do. I don't do politics. Have you ever heard me say I in class? Never. There's no I in yoga. I don't bring myself, I like this pose, I like this. Never, ever. So it's not my opinion, not this. I just teach the class. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a politician. I teach yoga. Show the poses, give you some alignment so you can grapple your mind onto, so you can meditate on that. Sharp poses, sharp alignment, so it cuts deep. Something you can grapple your mind on so your mind becomes single pointed. And then a single pointed mind for 5 seconds at least is a meditation. So I trust the yoga works. I don't have to sell it. I don't have to convince it. I don't have to give my opinion on anything. It works for me, so I'm sure it'll work for you. People are showing up, so I just show the poses, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't try to convince anybody of anything or try to sell anything. Never mention I. It's like, it works for me, so it's hopefully it works for you. You're showing up. That's it.
I saw some stuff. I gotta say it. Like, it's funny that you said that, because I saw some stuff like floating around the yoga Instagram, and I was just like, the 8 limbs of yoga and how like they all like advocate for a certain political view, and I was just like, this seems a little whack, you know?
Yeah,
like, this seems pretty super whack. And I was like, but I'm not completely sure, because I'm not as studied
right
as
look, the 8 limbs,
I was like,
there's the yamas, the ethical rules. I don't think anybody's like, you know, freaking Jesus, like the ethical rules,
yeah,
right? Like
wow.
non-violence, mainly ahimsa, like. And then there's the personal observances. There's a yoga practice, the physical. There's a pranayama. There's a sense withdrawal. The senses run amok out here for sure. It's a sense driven. There's no sense control here. Everything's sensationalized. Like you see, like the eyes, the mouth, the ears. Like everything's like sensationalized, and then there's concentration and meditation, and then bliss. And so like politics has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad. Yeah.
But whatever's
cool.
like running around, people have opinions on that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
Like, that's what you want to get wrapped up in? Cool. Like
that's not what I was taught.
I'm trying to surf this sucker out. Like I don't know.
I'm riding the wave. I'm glad you said that. So I want to talk a little bit about like energy, subtle energies, a little bit. And like you have in the workshop we did with you a couple months back, we did like the different chakra. And I've had some like kind of trippy experiences, honestly, with some of that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
at
like
certain points.
Natural trip.
Yo, honestly, I don't even know how comfortable I am. Like, because I've told some people and they're just like, that's fucking weird. But like, I've had some weird shit happen with certain colors and just different things.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was seeing until I saw the chart and the different colors of them, and I went, oh, I saw these colors.
The chakras correlated like to there's different colors for each chakra. Yeah.
I guess I just want to talk a little bit about like, do you ever feel like you can kind of move energy subtly around your body and like to different areas? Where do you like to hang out? Is there any particular? I feel like you like to hang out. Yeah,
I like hang out right here.
I feel like you're up here. Yeah,
I hang out right here all the time.
Cool.
But
yeah, that's kind of my zone.
Look, if it's your like focused mind and will, like, all right, like for example, like the subtle body.
Right.
It's just like almost like an animal. It's very subtle. Like, okay, so in order to get to the subtle body, you have to get past the physical body.
Okay.
Right? The physical body is always going to get in the way. Right? The subtle body is like very subtle. It's like almost like the quietest sound. But if it's super quiet, like you can hear like whatever, this little pin drop. It's super quiet. But the physical body is like all the other sounds. All right. So once you get past that, then you can get to the subtle body. And then once you get to the subtle body, the physical body is like nothing. It's almost like nothing. Like it's whatever. Right. And then it's being so like where you can kind of feel things intuitively, like an animal, or you see their hairs go up, or your hairs will go up when you're scared or whatever. And like you sense something almost like you have heightened senses of perception, kind of like an animal where you can like sense danger. like you can sense like something's gonna happen, or you can just sense it.
Right.
It's almost like a sixth sense.
Here's a question. Sometimes I notice, especially when I'm like deep in my practice, and I can kind of like go, I don't know if you're curious to hear, but like,
yeah, tell me, bro.
I mean, there's just such a rabbit hole here, but like basically like I noticed like when I was like deep in a practice, body feeling pretty good, and like going to different places in the world and feeling that magic significantly stronger.
Oh yeah.
Like I was in Mexico and in kind of an area where there is a bit of yoga, and and everyone's very integrated with nature, and the dirt is still in the air and in our fingernails, and we just felt a lot more connected.
You feel that energy, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, whoa. I was like it was like late, and we were dancing on the beach.
Awesome.
And it just like, whoa, like that magic feels like 2x versus like I feel that in class, or I feel that sometimes around on the beach, ground, you know, what have you. But it felt like that. I think it was from the collective there potentially, and it just felt higher. It felt stronger. Do you ever?
Lucky that you can feel it. Period. Because like some people are so numb and so desensitized, or like this is too thick. The body's in the way too much.
And the fabrics that people are wearing down there, and just like the food, like it just felt like, whoa, like this is I want to be here.
Look,
more.
And that's like subtle. There's not much going on there, I would say, in like Mexico. It's like still like pretty quiet. It's not like a big, like, it's not like New York where it's like so exactly. Look, New York, all up in your face. You can feel that energy.
Right.
Easy. You don't need like to be sharp in your subtle body to like feel that energy. Like that's in your face. Like, most people can feel it, but like you go down to someplace quiet, like you can feel a different kind of energy. And then some people don't feel anything at all. If you don't practice yoga or whatever, or not that sensitive, you don't feel anything at all. So it's like some people, I went to here, yes, it's great. Like no, was it? It's cool. Like, I went to here. Like, it was cool. I'm back. You know, so not a big deal. But the subtle body, you can get really. It becomes really finite, where you can like sense like everything, like whatever. Like, I don't typically do stuff like this. I have done stuff like this, but I don't typically do stuff like this. But if I didn't like feel that you're like rad, I would have been like, nah, bro. Period. For sure. If I've sensed stuff, like I only work with people like that I feel like I see and I feel whatever. And even if it like looks cool, or if something's cool, like I don't care. I'll say no, because I feel that it's not, it's like, look, you want to hear something super funny? Yeah. When I first moved out here, like the second year in, I got a call, or I got an email from a lady that knew like this famous whatever celebrity and wanted a yoga teacher. So I went and interviewed, and it was P. Diddy to be his personal yoga teacher. I dodged a bullet on that one, dude. But then she was like, most people would probably jump on that. So I went over there to Beverly Hills, went to this big office. He wasn't there. I spoke with his assistant. We want this, and you have to be on call and do that. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. And I was like, you know what? I'll do this. How about this? I'll teach him like 3 days a week, and then he can take whatever he learns from me and take it on the road. I don't want to be on call or anything like that. Like, I don't like the way that feels. Sorry. I said no. Wow. And then they were like, okay, we'll get back to you. That's it. But I already know, like, and it's getting better these days, like those senses, like, and then it's like almost like hindsight's like 20, like whatever, like whatever they say it is. I was like, even if I feel something like, oh, like, and then I like go against that feeling, and then I'm like, it bites you in the butt. So it's like there has to be more, as opposed to like people won't whatever, and they'll have to pay the price. It's good to dodge bullets, bro. If your subtle body's good, you can like
well, that's like your Matrix. Navigation.
You can be the Matrix and dodge the bullets. Like
that's your navigation. Yeah. And that's the thing. And there's so much information now too, and like part of what we're talking about, like just yoga and like certain teachers and certain things, and it's not knocking anyone, but sort of also you can know something, or you can kind of like know something.
Yeah, it's
or be something.
I liked what Dharma said. He said, your attention is like a signal. And some people's attention is not sharp or not strong. So they don't get a good signal. If your attention's good, your attention's great, like your subtle body, right? And you're around people and you can sense their signals. And if the signal's like not a good signal, not a good station, not a good whatever, not a good frequency, it's like, okay, you can know like that's not where I want to be.
Right.
I need to get out of here, or like that's not vibing out with me, but like, okay, if I have to be here, I'll be here. Like it's okay, but it's not affecting me. Or like sometimes you're in situations where it's like you have no choice. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be here, and like, okay, just make do of the situation, whatever. But sometimes you can avoid that completely if you're like super sharp and your attention's good. Like you can already see like a mile, almost like you see it a mile away. Like you have like, you can see into the future a little bit. You're just like, someone, hey, nope, we're good. Like, no, but it's gonna,
because it's so clear. And
it's all.
See, I've been in places where it's not clear in life, which I'm sure
we all have,
right. And you're feeling it come through, but you don't have that deep trust. And because you're not fully clear, or just. But I feel like, at least for me, the yoga and the practices, when it comes through, boom, I know that's my signal. I know that's my guide, and it's a huge yes. And or it's just like, not feeling right. Let's kind of back off, or directly block that out.
Block that out.
Like, shwing,
Yeah, exactly. The subtle body is very overlooked, especially in Western practices. Very overlooked, because it sounds like some woo-woo stuff, but here's where it gets like not so woo-woo. So if you have the credentials, right, to back it up, or the whatever, then it's not so woo-woo. If you're just like saying stuff and whatever, and a couple of things, like, cool. What speaks louder than words? Actions, results. So it's like, okay, that's why people come whatever, and they come to other class, because they see like, all right, this dude figured something out. Same thing. I went to Dharma. I'm like, he can do it all. He's 84 years old.
It's crazy.
He's done. Like, there's something for real. There's the proof's in the pudding. He's doing it. Right. I feel it.
You feel it. You see it.
I see it.
All that. Yeah.
I see it right in front of me. I'm like, okay. But then there's like some people that they talk the talk, don't walk the walk. So I'm like, all right. So I don't.
Right.
Mess with it, and it's a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you too, because definitely like the mantras that we do in classes, and then also the Dharma, the different things we did in that. Like also I definitely, that's opening and that's tuning in. So I definitely wanted to thank you for that.
More in tune. It's like getting your instrument more in tune. All these practices just like getting your instrument in tune so you can play it good.
So totally tuning the body 100%. So I will say right now, with this injury and also some other lifestyle choices I've been making, like
Look, it's physical. It's
I've been
physical,
super
mental,
grounded, man. Like
physical, mental hygiene.
Cannot take off, bro. Cannot get on the rocket, man.
Yeah.
It's been tough. I'm telling you.
Don't worry about the rocket.
But I'm just like metaphorically, yes, the rocket, but also like super grounded.
Good.
And like
good.
Which is good. But it's nice to be able to access that.
Oh yeah.
Look, other realm, higher place, state of consciousness, and it's been stuck in my body a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you see me in the studios, right?
Yeah.
And most of the classes I'm doing something physical, right?
Yeah.
You don't see me at home. It's not physical. I do some physicality at home,
right.
but it's all that stuff that I learned from Dharma, and it has nothing to do with physicality. It's all the mantra, pranayama, and all that psychic development. So I do psychic development twice a week before I see you guys on Wednesday. I do it Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay, yeah.
So I do it twice a week before I see you guys.
Nice.
Because it's hard to teach and do at the same time.
I don't know where that went, but I was just going to say thank you for the Dharma work stuff, Dharma stuff, opening the subtle body. I mean, it certainly has, along with the asana, just helped open that up and clear it and stuff like that. Tune it is what the word.
Bro.
Yeah.
Tuning.
Tune that guitar.
Tuning so you can make beautiful music in the world.
Yeah, and I was saying, so you practice psychic development prior to teaching us on Wednesdays. And I was just going to say, I can't imagine. Yeah. I can't imagine. I'm always sitting there doing it like, damn, he doesn't, like we're getting this meditation, but you're dropping it a little, but you're beating the gong while we're you're hitting the gong and we're just like,
it takes you places.
Going for it.
God knows where you're going.
Yeah, we're all sitting there, and
I go there too.
Couple cushions. Yeah,
I go there too.
Mondays, very familiar.
Mondays and Tuesdays, and it works.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it a lot. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about just life force prana. You talk a lot about, and we do some of some of those mudras where we cover the eyes, the ears, the nose and mouth.
Shamukti mudra, closing the gates, nadi vibrator pranayama.
Sometimes I'll just do that during the day. Now I'm like, it's crazy how much we lose out of those zones.
Yeah. Prana and energy. I think I don't know where I heard this from. I think it might be from Shivananda. I forget.
Okay.
You can't quote me.
That's
on that.
okay.
I don't know it all, bro.
Sure.
I'm still like,
we're all learning.
I'm still like a freaking skateboarder. I've like fell on my head a couple times. Like these teeth didn't get broken out of nowhere. Prana, like energy, life force, like to get energy. We get prana from a couple different places.
Okay.
The most powerful place to get prana from is the most subtle way, but it's the most powerful way to get prana, like energy, is through pranayama.
Okay.
Pranayama, conscious breathing. Because we can just breathe like specific pranayamas or pranayama, right? And then another way to get energy is through like physical activities, whether any or physical activities, people are skating, surfing with the homies or whatever, any kind of going to the gym, any kind of physical. So yoga falls in along a line of that category. Yoga meaning asana. It falls along that line. So that's like probably like a good way to get energy, like, and it's like healthy. It's targeting certain areas, but you can get it like just by doing stuff like basketball, football, whatever it is. Like you get the point.
Right.
And then, so there's pranayama, some kind of physical activity, the company that you keep. The company that you keep, because there's like some people that their vibe is like sucks and they're like lazy and like almost like the collective consciousness in the class where like someone's drinking and smoking, you're going to want to drink and smoke. Someone's like freaking like always like eat at home in front of the TV eating, or just going out to eat, like you're gonna want to do that. So if that's like the company they keep, right? The company that you keep, so if they have a high vibration or whatever, they're gonna help spark up your energy. You're probably gonna want to do something or like create something or whatever. So that's a good way to get energy, keep energy moving. Pranayama, activity, the company that you keep, and then your food.
Yeah, I think,
the food, right? So if there's a imbalance of those things, the most people compensate with is with food. With food, and it's not even the right food sometimes. So it's like, so it's a tricky situation. So you have a nice balance of that kind of stuff. So it's like, okay. I mean, people are like, how come I only eat pretty much once a day?
Okay.
Yeah,
pretty common yogi.
Yeah, I eat once a day when all my work's said and done.
Okay, nice.
But what about your protein? What about this? What about that? I'm like, bro, you see what I'm doing? Like, I'm doing the whole class and then some, and then I'm going skating afterwards. Like, what do you mean?
I'm an Energizer bunny.
Like what do you mean,
You're sleeping, bro.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. You get sleep's good. You have to have good sleep. Sleep's the other one, like, because you have to charge up. There's like a charging.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the pranayama's key. Like, you'll get energy like through all those things.
Okay.
Through all those things, like the prana, like, and then to raise the prana up from whatever blocking the gates to raise your energy, like, so that's a pranayama anyways, like holding the breath in, raising the prana, like sending the energy up, right? The kundalini energy, sending it up, like it awakens up, gets sparks things up. It's almost like lighting a lighter, and then you light it and you got fire, you got energy, but it's like all these little things to get it going, like, and then like that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's sort of, that's really interesting.
And then you'll lose a lot of energy through the eyes,
right?
Like overly stimulated, the ears overly stimulated, the mouth, like, that's why they do vipassana, bro. And the monks, look at the monks. Vows of silence.
That's what I was
fasting. You know what happened? When I was with this girl, she did vipassana. I've done silence, but I never done vipassana.
10 days. You never done the 10?
I've never done the 10. I'm doing. I feel like I do enough, but like maybe one day.
Sometimes I just do like all day Sunday and just like don't talk.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to like print out a little card so I could still like go to class and be like, I'm observing silence.
Yeah, just put on your thing.
Make a hat.
Make a t-shirt. Make a hat.
Yeah.
A t-shirt or a hat. Yeah.
Or t-shirt. Yeah.
I used to have the sign in class. You weren't there when you weren't coming to Shefa. I used to like, please practice Mauna, spiritual silence.
You've told us that.
I used to have a sign, but it got lost. I'm like, bro, like, yeah. But anyways, when you get out of Vipassana, what she told me, she started talking. She started sweating.
Wow.
Because you lose so much talking.
Yeah.
That's why I don't talk that much in class when I'm in
the
yoga.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
If I have to say less, I'll say less.
Oh, yeah, like, yeah, you're talking and you're doing scorpion, you're doing jump throughs, you're doing, I don't know, whatever it is that's hard for you at this point.
Yeah, but I don't say anything that I don't need to say.
Right, because that's, 100%. Like, and even for me after class. But you've
been to other classes, right?
Yeah.
And they talk a lot.
Well, because they might not practice.
Yeah.
While some of them don't practice,
Even the classes that don't practice that won't say much.
Oh, that, yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I just don't have to.
Right.
You lose most of the energy through talking.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. So,
sing it. Or bring it, don't sing it.
Yeah, so I guess I think...
you lose the prana with the senses, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really been tripping out on the spine a little bit, and I'm glad you brought that up, and I was going to kind of ask a little bit, but I've just been tripping out because I'm having this injury. But simultaneously, as I'm trying to unwind this injury, I kind of believe that yoga helped bring it to the surface more.
Right.
because I would feel it in certain postures, and you do a bit of back bends, and I kept feeling it, and I was like, this is gonna have to be dealt with at some point. And it's not even, it's just as much as misalignment as it is an injury. And so I've been tripping out now, like, even though I'm not fully healed, my spine is in a different place. And I'm feeling that. I'm feeling the stack more. And I've just been tripping out because I have been able to have some goodness, experiences of just higher states. But now that I'm stacked, like the other day I was just sitting at the skate park in the sun, and I was like, whoa, like I was just sitting in a way, and I just felt something like new and different. And normally that has to come typically after a meditation, after a class. Anyhow, I'm just kind of glad you brought that up. And I've been having a bit of celibacy as well. That's, I think, helping with that in a way.
2 years for me.
Oh yeah? No kidding. Is that something you want to maybe get into or no?
No, I got involved with this girl, and then I was just like, she kind of dissed me, and then I was like,
wait, so I feel like I saw you with a wedding ring at one point.
No, it's not. I'm not.
It's just, okay.
It's I just like to
You're married to the game.
Just to scare girls away.
Okay, interesting.
No, so people won't bother me.
Really? I was thinking about that too.
I'm not married.
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I think I would have known if you were, but look, I just was like.
I on that whole kit, whatever, if I want to be with somebody, I'm down. Like, but I have to want to be with them, and I'm not into hookups at all. I don't hook up with nobody.
So over it,
No, I don't hook up with anybody because it's like, if you hook up with that person, you gotta like, you're gonna take in all their energy, and like it's like that crazy energy exchange, and then like once you're like union like that, that's it. You can't. That's a bond that doesn't break. So I'm not trying to get involved with people. I've done that, and my intuition in the beginning has said no, and I still get involved with the person, and then boom, and that's like, why didn't I listen to it? And you're like, I saw all the red flags, and I whatever. So yeah, I don't. But then after I got involved with this girl, like, she kind of dissed me. She's a nice girl. She kind of dissed me, and then and so it's like, I just didn't want to get involved with nobody, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just not gonna do anything. And so I was like, just riding the train on that, like not out of like for yoga or anything like that. It's just like, look, I don't want to like waste my energy. Like, I'm not into like, self-gratification. I think that's stupid, period. I'm not into that, period. So like, just like, if I want to be gratified that way, I have to be with somebody. And it has to be somebody I want to be with, and I'm not just like for gratification. I don't want to deal with like anything that person has to be involved with unless I'm like fully. So that's another thing where the discipline has come into hand. So 2 years, just because nobody's like sparked my interest, or that I feel like that I'm like not gonna break my own rules. Just not out of no reason, just nobody's not the right right thing,
Yeah, that's understandable, and I completely agree right now, where it's like, I don't know if this will change, but it's exactly it. And a lot of times, like, the women are like opening to us a lot of times for like that relationship, and if you're just like hooking up,
I don't do that.
At the end of the day, like, someone's just getting burned, or the energy, or like it's just like,
I'm either if it's the right person, let's go for broke. That's it. Otherwise, I'll be by myself. All that energy, that creative energy, second chakra energy, I used to skating,
Yeah,
creating.
totally.
I create. I make stuff. I make
Yeah.
freaking all kinds of stuff.
So these hoodies, did Taylor do this for you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just came in. She
Those are
picked me up,
sweet.
picked me up. Just came in.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. So I'm
Cool.
like, so like with all that creative energy,
Yeah.
I just make stuff, music.
That's so sick. Yeah.
Or
And
skate,
that
or
is
tricks, or like stuff, or
yeah.
the little stuff I make out of the
Yeah.
skateboards, jewelry. Not only that, like furniture,
Yeah.
like anything. Mainly music though, like
Mainly music.
yeah, the iPhone stand.
Yeah, so the iPhone stand, you guys
Yeah,
just hit up Yancy on like Instagram or whatever to get cool hoodie. Those are nice. iPhone stand made out of recycled skateboard.
Yeah, can't do
These are
anything
super
with-
rad. This
with
is
the old
mine.
boards. Yeah.
You can use this to film a yoga pose and see where you're misaligned. You can use this to film a clip to see
The skating. I'll do it to film skating.
front
and, like,
crook
Yeah.
or whatever.
crook
I don't know.
slappies,
Wait, is front
Front
crook
crook
even?
slappies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing front crook slappies. I want to do a good
We gotta skate. Like I've been kind of looking for you a little at the mini park and then
Yeah.
the flat bar now. Like we should skate the flat bar.
I'm down.
Honestly,
I need help with
yeah.
the flat bar. I need,
We
dude. I
sh-
used to do so many flat bar
Well,
tricks.
so the other day I was there having a blast and like Andy and like
Andy
just
kills
all
it.
these bros showed up, started just
Destroying it, dude. Andy
Trying to do-
destroys that flat bar.
He was like kickflip on, kickflip off, just like the weird. You're like,
Yeah.
bro, like he's playing super nice dude, man. Yeah.
He's come to my class
Oh yeah.
a bunch.
Oh
yeah.
rad.
He's come to class with his filmer Nigel too.
Okay, sick. Yeah. I
They all-
know that Val was his lady was.
Val
Yeah.
comes
There's like a
in,
good crew of skate homies that were coming to
Yeah,
Sheffield
yeah.
for a while. Like you know Lindsay too, like Squid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who took my class once? I was tripping out. The Rocket too, Paul Rodriguez.
No.
He came to Sheffield.
You're
I was
kidding.
like, bro,
P-Rod?
I love your shoe, bro. Like, you're the
Dude,
best.
P-Rod, bro, please, like, whatever
Like
you
Eric
need, bro.
Ellington came to my
Yeah.
class back in the day. Eric Ellington, P-Rod, Eli Reed comes to my class whenever he's in town. Like I love
Yeah.
that dude. Eli Reed, shout out.
Dude, the P-Rods, when those came
P-Rod.
out, the Nike SB like,
Yeah,
forget
dude,
it.
He's P-Rod. Paul Rodriguez rips, dude.
All the
like,
stees, like, yeah.
In Bloom, like all the Transworld videos, like so sick, dude.
Crazy, the yoga skate connection. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're doing yoga. Everybody's doing yoga now because it's like
Because it's the way, bro. It's the way.
we have more knowledge. The knowledge is not like freaking 40s and
Smoke-
22s and smoking a blunt and like freaking tripping
Colt
out and
45.
like freaking getting guitoed up and like going like whatever, going for
Full
buzz.
send.
I mean,
There's some of those
people-
bros that
they're
are
st-
still doing it.
They're still doing that,
You
but
can
they might turn around or they might stop.
Yeah.
You won't see them pro no more.
Yeah. Creating
Look
stuff.
at PJ Ladd. PJ Ladd's full Kundalini.
No shit. Yo, did you watch that on HBO or whatever that was? Did you see the Kundalini thing with the...
Yogi
you were
Bhajan.
around for that, weren't you?
Yogi Bhajan or
Yeah.
whatever, all that kind of weird.
The,
all those,
the woman that took over out...
yeah.
Did you
What's
see
her-
that
what's her name?
documentary?
No, I didn't see it. It's on what?
Oh,
I
what's
gotta
it
check it out,
called,
dude. I'm
man?
gonna check it
It's
out.
called dude, hold on a sec. Yeah.
What's that lady's name? Yogi Bhajan, and then
Were you around for that?
I went to the Kundalini place over here that was on
they on Lincoln, right?
yeah, that place, but they also had I guess they split and they had the other place where they old off of La Brea or whatever like that, or off of Fairfax, that other place
Yeah.
that this other yoga people took over. I forget the names of it, but yeah, I was doing a little Kundalini,
Cool.
and I know of the split of those two. Yeah, those
There
two
was like some crazy
split.
thing with... Oh, what the fuck was it called?
Kundalini.
Oh, no. Breath of Fire.
Breath of Fire.
That's the HBO documentary I just watched. Man, these crazy,
Look
like,
it up.
the Bikram one, that
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing was insane. And then this Breath of Fire one was really trippy. Like, it was all in LA, man. It was like the
Yeah.
whole LA yoga, like, yeah, it's crazy.
Even there's like a documentary about like the health food and the yoga stuff, like the first health food store called The Source,
Yeah.
and this like dude in like the 70s like started bringing health food, but he was making all these people. They lived upstairs, all these hot like models, and chicks,
Yeah,
and dudes,
yeah.
and he drove around a Rolls Royce, and it was like a big culty thing. But he's teaching them like Kundalini yoga, and like they had to smoke weed, take the holy herb, and like do all this Kundalini, and they work, and they all lived up there. It's wild. He made people marry each other. It's all so crazy.
Yeah, this was like so. Yeah, you gotta check out this doc, man, because they like make their kids go to this like school in India, and they're all it's really wild, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, but
yoga's good, and it's got its weirdness too, for sure. There's like a lot of stuff that's like people have like twisted it up and made it like kind of like crazed, and I'm like, okay.
Is there anything you're kind of like? I mean, I don't know if you want to call anyone out. Like,
I don't want to.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to call anybody out, but there's like, you can do all the ceremonies, all the things that you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would call things like that shortcuts.
Mm-hmm.
If you take shortcuts, you're going to get shortcut results. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
Right?
You heard it here first.
That's from some Swami. The definition for results is like practice, practice, practice. Definition of practice, repetition, repetition.
Mm-hmm.
Ceremony can leave a nice effect on you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not long lasting. A ceremony will leave a nice memory. You go to a wedding ceremony. Nice memory. You know, it's great. Not your wedding, not whatever. It's not nice, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The couple had to like be together for a long time or whatever and commit to each other for it to work. You go to a ceremony, a wedding ceremony, leaves a nice memory, right? You do something every day. It's a ritual. And then it becomes ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Habitual becomes your habit, becomes practice, and then after repetition becomes nothing. It's just easy. Things are easy. There's no shortcuts. Why do you think you come to class, you see me do everything and teach the whole thing? I practice it every day. I practice 6 days a week.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something actually, man, because there's certain areas of my body that are like, and I'm dude, it's like a lifelong of wrapped up and banged up. So it's, but I wanted to know
it, dude.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you specifically.
Broke this wrist twice.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, was there a posture or something that you can do easily now that just took you?
Yeah, man.
Years or anything like that? Like
the Super Scorpion, that took me like 3 years. Or Lotus.
Okay, yeah.
Lotus took me 5 years to sit in it.
Really? Full Lotus?
Yeah, and then another 3 years to tie it in the air.
See, that is something that gives a bit of hope, because I definitely see people, man, that just pull into yoga like, I mean, swing, and I'm like, bro.
No, look, you can do like the body, right? Some people are just, I don't know what is their karma or whatever, like good genetics.
They're open.
Everything. Easy.
It's stacked posture.
The physical practice could be very easy for them. Being genetics, being karma, whatever it is, all encompassing. Probably like karma has to deal with your genetics or whatever like that. So the physical practice can be super easy for them. Nothing. They don't even have to work at it. That necessarily means they're a good person or like they're a yogic person.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
So it doesn't have much weight to it. So their physical practice doesn't have much weight to it. Yeah, work hard for the postures and for your health. Work hard. It's going to have more long-lasting effects. You work hard in certain parts of the body, and some places take longer than others. Some places are a little bit harder. Like for me right now, it's like my right foot doesn't stay behind my head for Yogini Ektapada Shirshasana, or like left side's easy. But yeah, there's like things that you can do to like open up your body and like to help it out.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes time. You don't tell a plant when to grow. You just keep watering it. You just practice, give it sunlight. It'll grow. The flowers will come.
Yeah,
you can't be like,
it's nice.
Bloom now. It'll happen.
Nice too. Yeah,
it'll happen. All these poses take years. The best is when you're not. You just practice and just try hard and like just do what you got to do, and then one day like it'll happen. Whatever it is that you're looking for, or whatever, or not even looking for, like, hey, this is tight, I'm just gonna practice and do what I need to do, and this opens up, and it's good, and you feel sparkly, and you feel like, okay, you feel a little bit more liberated when you get the poses. Liberated from your physical form.
Exactly. That's so for me, the energy. I feel personally that there has been blocks energetically within my body. So the more I can clear them, the more the energy circulates freely, right? And that's internal and external, like we were talking about. But like when I have an opening somewhere that I'm felt has been stagnant for an extended, probably years in some cases, where some skate injury or I broke some snowboard, whatever it is, then now all of a sudden I'm feeling blood and I'm feeling life in that area that was once blocked. And so it can be very correlated to like physical, even emotional trauma. And so
I think it all mind, body, spirit. Mind, body, spirit. Yoga is a joining, a union of mind, body, spirit. So it balances it out, keeping in tune, keeping everything balanced.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
so sick. Because then
the body is a big part of it.
Yeah, because then like
the body is a big part of it. If your body is tight or something's hurting or whatever, it's gonna affect you here.
Well, yeah,
it's
because
gonna bring your spirits down. You're like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I can't. Dude, if you're freaking have a rolled ankle and you can barely walk, or your arm's broken, your spirits are pretty low.
So yes.
Your spirits
especially if you're a guy that wants to, or a girl that wants to be in yoga, be in surf,
or you want to do stuff. Your spirit's low.
Yeah.
Your spirit's low. If if you can't move through life smoothly, easily, your spirits are going to be low.
So rad, man. I seriously, I appreciate you spending the time here.
Chase, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate
brother.
it, man. It's really fun. You're a rad dude.
I appreciate that, bro. And do appreciate your teaching and all that you continue to offer, like around town. It's nice, man.
I'm
seriously.
happy people show up. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like,
like we really are lucky. So yeah, man, just to have all those offerings for us, brother. Yeah. Let's go skate.
I'm down to skate. Yoga, skate, I'll do it all.
Okay, sweet. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate that. Hit up Yancy on Instagram for some yoga. Come practice. Well,
you're not gonna find much yoga on my Instagram. You can hit me up like
hit him up for like a phone stand.
Yeah. Not even that.
A hoodie. Don't hit
not
him
even just
whatever.
Just find me. Find me.
He's around.